Now, it's been a long time since I last asked for video responses, and part of that is due to the fact that I've had a lot to do, but another part of that has been the fact that the button mappers have also been doing content that asks for video responses, but it's been 5 months since the button mappers have asked for a video response, so I felt the need to make a video asking for video responses myself. Now, the last time I asked for video responses was a video that was a theory crafting video that was about rewarding elements, and I wanted to know what people's preference in rewarding elements would be. Now, I want to talk about the responses I got briefly. I got 2 responses that I know of, and those are Games with T, who apparently took his video down because I can't find it, but I know that Games with T mentioned narrative as his number 1 pick, and he also mentioned exploration as his number 2 pick. Majority, on the other hand, who was the other one who did a video response, he put exploration at number 1 and kinetic empowerment at number 2. Now, I don't remember what Games with T put as his number 6, in other words his bottom 1, but I'm guessing that is personalization because given the comments that he leaves on my Rate the Create videos, he doesn't seem to care much about creation features, so I'm guessing he's putting that right at the bottom, but I don't remember because he doesn't have his video up. Majority put invested empowerment at the very bottom because he doesn't seem to care much about leveling up and growing stronger, and he sees it as kind of cheap, and in a way I can kind of see where he's coming from, but I feel that at the same time it depends on how it's executed, and if it's executed in a bad way, then yes, it can come across as cheap. But I do think that if you execute it well, it can actually be a good thing and it can actually be valuable. And I have met people who actually do put invested empowerment at the very top. So I do understand the value of it, but I can also understand why majority dislikes it so much. And as for me, as you know, I put exploration at number 1, and my bottom 1 was educated empowerment because I just don't give a shit about challenging games, and at the same time it's frustrating when the game's hard. To me, difficulty is the measurement of the developer's confidence in their game, because you have to be confident to make a hard game, because hard games show their flaws a lot more easier than easy games. Easy games you have to really delve deep to find the flaws. Like, for example, Musashi Samurai Legend. If you play that game, you probably won't get that frustrated because it's pretty easy, but the game does have flaws and you have to really delve deep. Whereas in a game like, for example, Dynasty Warriors 3, the flaws are pretty obvious because it happens to you all the time where you're getting shot by archers that will just stagger you constantly. And yeah, that's not good, and it's just too obvious at that point. So Musashi was a bit of a challenge to review because it's a game that I had fun playing, but at the same time it's a very flawed game, and I had to look at it from that perspective because I'm reviewing the game for another type of person. And if you're looking for a fun experience and if you're looking for educated empowerment, you're not going to find it there. That's not to say that I didn't enjoy it, because I did, but I know that people looking for that are going to be upset. And even kinetic empowerment to some degree is limited in that game because of the combat system, and that's why I had to address those issues in my review. Now, majority did mention the whole Zelda and Metroid thing and how he thinks that they have exploration as well, and I agree with him. They do have exploration. I think every game has potential to have a degree of exploration, and every rewarding element, doesn't matter what game it is, I think they all have a bit of it here and there, and I wouldn't say that he would be wrong about them focusing on it either. But here's the thing, the reason why I mentioned those 2 games is because I felt that people would get that confused with the way they work their mechanics. People always call Metroid and Zelda action-adventure games, which may lead people to think that games that are categorized as that are the games with all the exploration. I wanted to make a point of saying that that's not the case. It can happen with any game, and Zelda and Metroid aren't necessarily the best in that category. That's not to say that they are terrible in that category, because they're not. But at the same time, I do think that people should be aware that there are other games that can deliver in terms of exploration value, and that's why I brought it up. So yes, that's all I have to say on that. Thank you, Majority and Games with T, for your video responses. So now we're going to talk about what the question is that I'm going to ask you all for your video responses if you want to be a part of it. So the question is, It's a simple question this time. The last one was complicated, but it was a theory crafting episode, so it kind of would be. But this one's simple, and it's just basically, what is your favourite YouTube video? But there's a catch, because there's actually two questions in one here. What is your favourite YouTube video that you've made, and what is your least favourite YouTube video that you've made? Now, this can go any way you want. It could be the results weren't the results you desired or you did well in terms of views, or it could be something that you're passionate about, like a video that you were really passionate about and you always go back and rewatch it because you love it so much, or a video that you just felt, I could do better. You know, you look back on that video and you think, you know, I could have done a lot better with this video. I think we all get that at some point. One of those videos that you just look back and just feel ashamed of, even though you really shouldn't be. I think everybody has a video that they have made that they think that they could improve or think that it could be better, because at the end of the day, content creation is a learning experience, and at the same time, we're not always with it when it comes to making content. Sometimes we miss a few things, sometimes we say things that are wrong and make mistakes. It's part of the journey. So I think everybody has at least one video that they do have a little bit of regret for, and when I say regret I mean that loosely, because I don't regret any of my videos, and I'm sure that everybody out there who's making videos in the small YouTube gaming community doesn't regret making any video, and you shouldn't regret it, because they are part of the process of growth. You look back on those videos and you may feel shame, but you shouldn't. You should feel happy that you actually made those videos because they brought you to where you are today. Nevertheless, I do think everybody has them, and I want people to be honest with them. But at the same time, like I say with the favourite one, I do think that everybody has potential to make something great that they will watch back over and over and over again, and I want people to really be honest here and just think a bit more objectively if they can, and not just think about themselves, ideally. I mean, you can think about yourself if you want, but with videos that you like, I think that a lot of it has to also do with the production value too, because you could have made a video that you really are passionate about, but you might have made some mistakes in the video. Even though you still love it, you have to acknowledge those mistakes, and I think people should bear that in mind as well. I think a happy medium of a video that you're passionate about, but also a video that is nigh flawless, or a video that really just nailed it, if that makes sense, in terms of production value and in terms of like how it went down and how it came out. So I'll give mine first, and the ones that I'm going to pick for my favourite video, it's actually going to surprise you, because it's not going to be the Valve Profile 2 analysis, even though that video is very important to me and it's one of the most important videos I've ever made on my channel. I do think that that video is flawed, and I do have a few minor regrets with it, because there were a few things that I said that could be taken the wrong way, and I really could have explained things better. And when I look back on that video, part of me wishes that I could go back and edit a few things that I said, because I really could have said things differently in that video that would have made more sense. Because some of the things I said in that video are kind of wrong when you think about it from a certain context. I kind of regret that, and because of that I wish I could go back to it. So that's not the video I'm going to pick, but it is up there. It's definitely one of my favourites, it's just not my favourite. My favourite YouTube video is my Star Ocean The Divine Force review, and the reason for that is just simply the fact that everything went smoothly. When I did that review, it was at a pretty dark time in my life. A lot of bad shit was going on, and because of that, I really wanted to hyper-focus in on the review, because it was kind of like an escape from the shitty situation I was in. At the same time, I was kind of under pressure because I was trying to get the review done. Now, this video was a very challenging video to make. I'd just finished a review of Valkyrie Elysium, and this review was just around the corner because the next big game that I needed to cover was coming out, and I wanted to get that review done early so that people could find information earlier, because as you all know, people lose interest after release. So yeah, I worked on my Star Ocean The Divine Force review almost immediately afterwards. Obviously I had to play the game first, and I swear to God I spent way too much time playing the game and not actually getting through it, but that's because I was enjoying the game, and the review was challenging, there's no doubt about it, but I will definitely say one thing. The video creation process went smoothly for once, which doesn't usually happen. There's usually something that goes wrong in video creation for me. It could be something very small, or it could be just the editor crashing, but everything went smoothly for once, and I really did pick a lot of great clips for the video as well. The video couldn't have sold the game better if it tried, because all of the clips, particularly for the combat that I picked out, were just amazing. I think part of that was the fact that I did stream the game on Twitch just to get footage, and because of that I had so much footage at my fingertips, and I just picked the best ones, and in the end it just looked glorious. And I go back on that video and it's just so much better in terms of polish than all of my other videos, and it's the definitive video. It's the one video that I got everything right on, and it's the first video where I can actually say I actually got everything right. I actually did everything right for once. Nothing went wrong. There's nothing that I regret. There's no changes that I want to make to it. It was perfect in my eyes. Now obviously no video is perfect, but to me it was. I satisfied myself with the video. Usually when I make a video I'm dissatisfied with one thing or another in the video. With this one I wasn't unsatisfied at all. I was 100% satisfied with it, and for me that's a big deal, to be 100% satisfied with a video, because usually that never happens. I am a very harsh critic of myself. So that's my favourite video. My least favourite video was a video that I actually unlisted, so you won't actually find it, but it was a theory crafting video. I mean, I could actually mention all the videos that I made that had no commentary, but I'm not going to count them because, well, they were just dumb, and it's hard to pick one from them because they're all shit. But this one was a commentary one, so I think that it's more appropriate to mention it, and this was the Maintaining Engagement Rewarding Elements video. Now, funnily enough, in the previous video that I asked for video responses, I actually used footage from that video in it, because I wanted to reuse that bit of footage and actually put it to good use. But that video was basically me talking about engagement, which was the third step after rewarding elements. And I think I did a pretty shit job at it. Like, I was bringing up all the different types of engagement, and I really didn't flesh it out. And because of that, I felt that the video lacked purpose and meaning. And for me, that's a big red flag. If a video lacks purpose and meaning, it doesn't belong on my channel. And I had to get rid of it. And that's a pretty annoying thing for me. That really hurt me because I really did not want to have to get rid of work that I actually did, but in that case I really had to. And yeah, I unlisted it and I replaced it with a video on systematic engagement, which was a form of engagement that I did mention in that video, but I barely talked about it, and you know, I moved on to the next one. But this was a video that focused primarily on it, and it was a lot more detailed in regards to that type of engagement and went in deep with that method of engagement. Even though it was just one method, I felt that was more valuable because it actually discussed that method in greater detail than the other video did. Now, I didn't discuss all the other methods, but the systematic engagement video to me is a lot more valuable, and I think the reason why I picked that is simply because I'm a Tri-Ace fan, and Tri-Ace games always excel in systematic engagement, and that's part of the reason why those games are so fun, and I wanted to address that with that video because it's such a big deal to me, and that's why I thought I'd focus on that specific form of engagement than any other. But yeah, those are the ones that I've chosen for my best and worst video. What are yours? Do a video response and also link the video in the comments. Ideally link it on Discord if you can. You can access my Discord from my YouTube channel in the About section. I have a link to it there. I might put one in the description, I don't know, but that might make things easier if you link your video response there. But I'm just saying that if you put it in the comments, I might not be able to see it because YouTube does delete comments. So if you want to make sure that your video response reaches me, ideally Discord is the best way to do it. So yes, thanks for watching guys, and I'll look forward to any video responses that are coming my way, or none if no one decides to respond, but oh well.